Welcome back to the Mind of Melody Monday. We're on episode 2. We're ready to go. Yeah, let's get it. Hey, nice to see you guys. Well, I know I'm not seeing you, but hopefully you watching this and stuff. Like, hey. Nah, I'm playing. So, for episode 2, I figured that I would introduce myself. Some people still don't know me, and that's cool. I ain't complaining. I do want to give you a little bit of who I am, because I'm going to start doing these episodes every week, and we're going to do some different stuff. So, again, my name is Melody K. I am from Cincinnati, Ohio. I have been interested in music since I was 5 years old. My grandma, my dad's mom, was really big into singing and instruments, and she basically took me under her wing, and I would sing with her, and she taught me how to read music at a very young age. I didn't really understand like the different types of notes when it came to piano, but I realized once I got into 6th grade and started playing instruments that reading music just kind of came naturally to me, but I never got too in depth with it. I can't listen to a song and be like, oh, that's C major, or oh, that's B minor. I can't do that. I'm not that good, but I'm hoping eventually I will get that good. She just took me under her wing when it came to a lot of stuff, so I really appreciate that now that I'm older, because I always loved it when I was younger, but I didn't really understand until I got older. So I'm very thankful for her. But a lot of my influence was also from my dad and my uncle. My uncle rapped, and he had friends who rapped too. They all did a lot of stuff. From the time I was young, they used to do it in my grandma's basement. They did it all over. They would travel, they would do shows. And I was always over there every other weekend from the time I was 5 until I turned 16 and moved to Kentucky. I was always in it, always over there. My friend Jay, him and I met in the 3rd grade, and I would take him over to my dad's, and we would just hang out and kick it. And we had like the Thicky Thick Girls, and we had the Ocean Breeze little group. Started out at a young age. Me and Jay used to do it all the time. He was my go-to when it came to it. When he was the first person that I recorded with. He had the shit, so I went over and recorded with him because I didn't have anything. I just wrote. Like, we were just always singing and rapping. He rapped, and then I sang. I never really rapped back in the day. I always used to play with their little DJ turntables, and I was just always interested in it. And like I said, when I got older, I got in a band, played the clarinet, bass clarinet, saxophone. I did the drums, bass drums. I wasn't good at the snare, or the quads, but that bass drum, that was me. I was all about that. And I read that music pretty well too, which was odd. But props to my grandma, because she was teaching me at a really young age when it came to that stuff. But always been in band, loved that. Always did choir, loved that. I did theater. Loved to do little musicals and stuff like that. I just loved that, just the feeling, the atmosphere. It's all different. You get to be creative. I always wondered if I just liked it. Obviously, you're a kid. You're easily influenced. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to do what your parents are doing, or you want to do what your uncles are doing, or your aunts, or your bigger cousins, So I just kind of step back for a little bit to see if this was really what I wanted to do, or if I was just influenced by what everyone else was doing. To me, I always thought that I wanted to do it, and I always talked about wanting to do it. I was more talk than anything. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, da 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 da. And then finally one day I just did it. Got me a computer, got into Full Sail University, only did that for a little bit, and then some stuff went down, personal stuff. So I had to put that on hold. And then I also had my baby. So took a little bit of adjusting for me, because I was always just only had to worry about myself, but now I got to worry about my little mans too. So I kind of took a break, and then I had little mans, and I had never been off work. Like, I've been working since I was 14 years old. I have not taken time off since then. I mean, like a week here, week there, 2 days, 3 days, you know what I'm saying? Nothing like 3 months. So I grabbed a beat, and I was like, oh, it was an R&B beat, and I started singing. And I was like, oh my God, I really have to start doing this stuff. But let me backtrack a little bit. When I was 18, and I graduated, I didn't get out of high school and go straight to college. I explored life. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like, I was that type of person. I was like, just so many things happened to me in my life. I just didn't know. Because I always wanted to do music, but then you have people who are like, oh, well, music's not this and music's not that, or you need to be a doctor, or you need to be a dentist, or you need to do this, that. And it's just like, I'm going to figure this out. So from the age of 18 to 24, until I got pregnant with my son, I was figuring myself out. I finally got introduced to underground music, and it's really embarrassing to say that I knew about underground music, but I didn't really listen to it. I was mainstream, like Chris Brown, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, R&B, like country, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I listened to. And then when I turned 18, I totally flipped script. And I was like, because I've always liked hip hop, but I always listened to like Ludacris and just that 90s, 2000s, you know what I'm saying? Like Biggie, Tupac, you know what I'm saying? I never really like listened to the underground. And then I started listening to ICP and I loved them, you know, and it's crazy because my friend Brittany used to listen to ICP back in the day all the time. And I never gave it a chance. I was more preppy ghetto, you know what I'm saying? I went to Lakota, so I was more like, oh, I went through my punk skater stages, you know what I'm saying? But I was more like preppy ghetto. I wasn't preppy. I wasn't popular by any means. I knew everybody, but I wasn't like, one day we flip-flopped. This is how crazy it was. She went to school preppy and I went to school punk emo, you know what I'm saying? So I never really gave it a chance it's just like when you're young, I don't know. I guess I don't know. I still can't tell you why I never really heard of underground music. But when I turned 18, I started listening to it. ICP first. Obviously, they were the first ones I heard of. And then started seeing like all the different branches of all the underground music. You got strange music. You got psychopathic. You got just all kinds of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got suburban noise. You got all this shit. And it's like, oh my God, how did I never know that this was here? You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, ICP, Twisted, and then Potluck, Cottonmouth Kings. And I started going to a lot of Twisted, Hed PE, and Potluck shows because they were touring a lot together. And I just kept going. From the time I think I started really going when I turned 19. But from 19 to 24, that's all I did. Like, I even traveled to Colorado to go see Potluck perform. I loved them. You know what I'm saying? They were my favorite group. But, man, it was just nice, you know, like just seeing how, like, what you have to do to tour, how you're supposed to book your shows, what you're supposed to do when you're on tour, and just like just seeing how it all works, like underground and behind the scenes. It was really nice to see all of that. And just really, for me, it took me time to really figure out if this is really what I want to do, because it takes time and dedication. And just because you see someone doing something doesn't necessarily mean you can do that or you want to put in the time and dedication to do that. You sacrifice so much, and it's just like, okay, should I do this or should I not? Do I have what it takes to do this? I was a very shy person. So I was always like, oh, I really want to do this, but do I really, like, what are people going to say? Like, are people going to make fun of me? Are people going to, like, hate on me? Are people going to be like, oh, you know, it doesn't matter. I didn't take it seriously. I thought I was. I really thought I was taking it seriously, but I wasn't recording anything. I wasn't getting up and doing shows. I wasn't performing. I wasn't doing anything besides just going and hanging out at the shows with people. And the crazy thing is, when I did find out about underground music, I really liked Potluck because I really liked Underrated and how he rapped really fast. And then you find out about Tech Nine, and then you find out about all these other people, and it's like, damn, hold on. And then you learn their music and their lyrics, and you're like, oh my God, I can rap like this. Like, I can do what they're doing. Like, I never really, like I said, back in the day, my friend Jay, he would rap. I would sing. I never really took an interest in rapping. And then I started listening to all this rap music, and I was like, oh my God, I can actually be good at rapping. Like, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I overthink, and my raps ain't up to par with everybody else's, but I'm getting there. And watch, I've been around the block. You know what I mean? Like, I've been here. I might not have handled it like every other artist did, but now I am. And this is me. I'm a hot mess. And I will always be a hot mess, but I'm me. You know what I mean? And I might get behind and I might fall, but I will always get back up, and I will always keep going. So that's me. I'm Melody K. So that's where I started before I started getting with Aura Audio and all the guys. Now, since the pandemic happened, we're not really doing the team stuff and we're not really doing shows much anymore, but we did a bunch of shows and I actually got to live that life. And the stage life is amazing for me. I love being up there. And so when I get up there and perform and I have women come up to me and they're like, that was so cool. I would love to do what you could do, but I couldn't. Yes, you can. You can. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think I could for a long time. And I finally did it. I'm so thankful for Belo and Crypto. I really am, because those two really, I didn't really get a chance to give them a lot of props when it comes to this. They wanted to see what I had, and we all sat down at the table and I just read my raps to them and they're like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? And that started a whole new thing for me. I started out solo. I was doing my own stuff and then rapping with them every so often. And then like Ruthless came in and then we all decided to do stuff together. And that was a great time. Like being with the team and doing it with so many people was just so easy, bouncing ideas off of each other. Got to perform and I relied on them being on stage and stuff. Like those are my dudes, you know. I go to war for mines. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm cool with you, I will always have your back and I will always have those guys' backs, because I was shy, like I said. And for them to get up on, like Belo brought me out on stage. Him and Chris both brought me out on stage because I was so nervous to just perform by myself. Or Belo would be my hype man, or they just always have my back. So now it's just little old Melody K again, and I'm gonna have to get up there and do a show by myself. And I'm gonna just be real. Like I said, this is real me. Like, I don't know. I am scared again. I feel like I'm starting all over again because now we're all doing our own solo stuff. And it's like, you got this, Kayla, you got this. Like, I really relied on the guys and I still rely on them so much. And I love them so much for everything they've done for me, especially Belo, because Belo's got his shit together. He is slept on. He was in Stone Chakra. They did a song with Godimus. They did a song with Jaron Bitten, Irv the Phenom. They did so much stuff. And Belo's still out here doing so much stuff. And he helps so many different artists. He helps other people. Like he's just always doing something. So I really owe him a lot of praise and appreciation, because without him, a lot of this wouldn't have been possible. Like in 4 years, I did so much that I never did before. Like I had a chance before to get on stage and I was just too scared to do it. You know what I'm saying? And then now after meeting Belo and getting, in with him and just doing stuff with him and doing songs with him, and it's just been a wonderful experience. Like it was a lot of fun and I am so glad that I got to experience it. And I'm so glad that I had them, because they're my brothers, always my brothers. And it was just a really good experience doing stuff with them too. And I feel like I've done so much already, but I haven't at the same time, because I have not been out here putting my music out. I'm just now getting started and I'm 30 years old, and I'm cool with that, because you're never too old to live out your full potential and your dreams that you've always wanted to see for yourself. You know what I'm saying? This is me evolving, because I did all this stuff from 18 to 20. I'm going to say 18 to 30. I did everything different, and I'm about to be 31. And next year, 2021, is going to be awesome, because it's just me. And I can't wait for you to see who I'm going to have on my album. I can't wait for you to see what I do with my album. I personally can't wait to see what I do with my album. So I want to give a shout out to everybody I've worked with. But I also did a song called What Was I Thinking with Raybon Oddboy and Mark Bone. Mark Bone I've known about for years. I've never met him in person, but I've always been Facebook friends with him for a long time. Someone introduced me to him a long time ago before I was taking music seriously and wanted us to do a song together. And then finally we did it. So shout out to them too. I didn't know who Rayvon was until we did a show for JL and Joey Cool last year. And that was awesome. I didn't know who Joey Cool was. And I knew who JL was, but I never put two and two together because he's been signed for a minute. And then I put two and two together and I was like, oh my God, I'm opening up for this guy. I am opening up for JLB Hood. Like I was so excited. I can't. And then once I found out who Joey Cool was, I was like, holy shit. And it was just crazy. Like that experience was oh my God, that was probably my favorite show, just because like you just meet so many different people, you know what I'm saying? And then, so shout out to Rayvon Oddboy, shout out to Mark Bone. And then shout out to JL too, because I did a song with him and I absolutely love his music. I don't care what anybody says. He needs more recognition, and so does Joey Cool. I love those two guys. I still plan on doing a song with Joey Cool. I haven't told anybody about that, but I'm gonna let it be known right here. I'm trying to figure out exactly what song I want him on, because he's a beast. Like he's just different. Like the way he does he's a beast. So I can't wait to experience that. But yeah, that's my go-to word. But yeah, here is Melody K full force. We doing it. Melody K evolving. And you already know, one piece of advice that I'm glad I took was make music as long as you can and only show people close to you. And I'm glad I went with that, because I'm Melody K, aka Miss Random, and I came out of nowhere. Like, this is me, and I'm here, and I plan to stay here, because I've been through a lot. I don't want pity. I've just had a rough life. You know what I'm saying? Everybody goes through a rough life, but everyone's experiences are different. So if I can help people from what I've been through, that is satisfaction to me, because I've been the lowest of low. I've hit rock bottom. So I know how it feels to not be able to come out of that, or to think you can't come out of that. I know how you feel. I am with you 100%. I just keep going. You can't let your past interfere with your future. You have to keep evolving. Do what you need to do. Like, subscribe, and comment. Sorry I keep rambling, but I wanted this to be a real experience. So here's your real experience. Let's get it. Yeah.